I find reviews to be incredibly fascinating. Someone explaining their thoughts on a product to express why they believe something works or just fails miserably for them has always been something I've enjoyed for as long as I can remember. Most people who read or will watch a review, I truly believe, do so for validation on their own opinions, as that's why when a review goes against the general consensus, you see a lot of negativity surrounding it, even if the reviewer did a perfect job at expressing why they feel a certain way. But for myself, I enjoy reviews that can articulate a person's thoughts well enough whether it matches my own opinions or not. The average person just doesn't care what other people think about what media that they just consumed. Look at any big blockbuster in a year, most people who walk out of a movie theater, they won't go read or watch a review. They might talk about it with the person that they went with or just friends afterwards, but they will move on with their day not expressing their own feelings online or caring about others. The people who actively talk about the media that they experience or debate with the reviewers are in the minority. For myself, I've always enjoyed reviews not because I want some stranger to validate my own thoughts or say what I'm already thinking, but to highlight areas to that product in ways I might not have considered myself. In doing so, I can look at the media in question from a different set of eyes, whether that reviewer feels the same way as I do or not. Sometimes you'll come out of a show thinking, I love this, but for whatever reason, it's hard to express why. Then you'll watch or read a review expressing their love for that same show, and it perfectly captures your own feelings. Or maybe you know exactly why you love something, but then you'll see a review which highlights these areas in completely different ways that maybe you didn't focus on or just didn't care that much about. Reviews to me have always been a silent conversation where you have two or more parties that can have this conversation without directly talking to one another unless the reviewer responds to comments. I have plenty of shows and games that none of my friends enjoy, but I can still go to a review and experience a total stranger's opinion and get their perspective to help fill that void of not being able to talk to people about something that I just experienced. Many people dislike it when a reviewer goes against their own personal feelings. You see a hot show of the season, if they dislike it, they get pretty upset for expressing a different opinion. Personally though, my favorite reviews are the ones that I actually disagree with. Two of my personal favorite YouTube channels are The Needle Drop and The Cosmonaut Variety Hour. Most of what The Needle Drop reviews I don't even listen to, but when I do share similar music tastes, he usually is pretty negative where I actually enjoy the album that he's ripping apart. But the way Anthony can express his thoughts with his strong vocabulary makes me appreciate his criticism even if I personally disagree with it. With The Cosmonaut Variety Hour, Marcus usually has some pretty hot take opinions on popular film and TV shows, but he always entertains me beyond belief while expressing himself pretty well. So even when I think, Marcus, you're drunk, how can you say this? I personally am entertained and learn a new thing or two with how someone with a completely different view on the show or movie thinks and why they feel this certain way. So next time when I see opposite views online, I can keep his thoughts in the back of my mind to help translate the internet's feelings without the need of pointless arguments. Reviews are a conversation if executed correctly. Most who participate in them are doing so to see their own thoughts conveyed, hopefully in a well thought out way, but for me, they are this conversation with either like-minded or completely different people where you have possibly a silent debate that by the time the review is over, you might come out agreeing somewhat or shaking your head because you just can't get behind their thoughts, but you respect how they feel, or hopefully you do. When I make videos on this channel, I generally discuss anime I enjoy to some degree for the most part. The reason is I don't enjoy putting hours into work into a product that I don't enjoy, let alone watch it. Yet most of the reviews I personally watch are actually fairly negative. But for me, I want to enjoy the work I do, so when I invest time into something, I want to have fun, so it naturally feels like a hobby and not a job. The argument some like to make is how can you be a reviewer if you're only positive, which I find to be a really fascinating question as there's a legitimate point to that. For me, I consider myself to just be Brandon. I'm a guy who talks about anime and why I feel the way I do about the series in question. I've never set out to review everything in existence like someone such as The Needle Drop. I want to talk about the 5 or so anime in any given anime season that I really enjoy and break down what I thought about them week by week. Then larger scale reviews for full seasons of anime is where I generally will be a bit more critical, as now I have a grand scale picture and can see where a season went right or wrong. When I'm reviewing something weekly, I think it's ridiculous to jump to conclusions before you see the full execution. Many jump onto plot holes or other nonsensical comments before seeing if the anime actually did make a mistake or if it was just setting something up for future events. You see this a lot with source material readers who think just because the anime hasn't shown something at the same point as the manga or the light novel did, then they left it out, where most of the time they just will introduce it later, and at most points it's usually in the following episode. Or maybe they will just leave it out because now that they have the animation, they can get across characters' thoughts with body language instead of dialogue like the original works. I take a look at what the episode or season delivered and break down exactly why I feel a certain way. A review to me and a reviewer only needs to do one thing and one thing only: express why they felt the way that they did. If you do that, then it should count as a review and a reviewer. It's not if you express a multitude of emotions in a review, it's did you properly break down why you feel this way? If yes, then the deed is done. I totally understand people could just look at my channel and think I like everything in existence, but it's actually the opposite. I tend to like more anime than the general anime fan, as I can get into any genre as long as it can entertain me with the proper execution. But I dislike most of what I try, and I'm extremely picky with what I'll watch. I can drop things minute into episode 1 as I don't like wasting my time, hence why I can't bring myself to waste time on shows I just can't stand so I can review it. I'll leave that up to other channels to suffer in my stead. What I choose to watch and review are what I'm passionate about, and my hopes is those who watch my reviews will come out understanding either a new outlook on an anime or figure out why they personally enjoyed the series as well. Most people who talk about anime or really anything online are the odd ones out in the world, because most enjoy a product and move on with their day, or hate a product, fume for a minute, and then move on. Those who discuss their thoughts online do so because they are passionate about something, be it a negative or positive emotion. All are valid and all are welcome if they are respectable. Debate and discussion to me are fascinating because it opens up your mind to thoughts and ideas you couldn't possibly think of alone, which allows you to see the product in questions in a multitude of new ways. I find reviews to just be as important as the product that I consume because it allows for that series to mean that much more, as when someone is taking the time to break down what they experienced, be it in a positive or negative reaction, you know that piece of art did something and meant something to the world, which in return created more art to be consumed. I know I'm the odd one out because I enjoy polar opposite opinions as long as they properly explain themselves and don't attack others with different views, but reviews have always been so fascinating to me, because before I made my own I never really understood why I enjoyed them, but since creating them I realize it's because it's a conversation that can be had with two people without actually talking face to face or through comments, where because of the internet you have an unlimited amount of ways to discuss what you just experienced, even if your friends or people around you just don't share the same hobbies, where these reviews can open your eyes and mind and make a product into so much more because now you see these smaller details that someone other than yourself noticed, where there's no correct opinion, just an endless sea of them, where if you find a solid reviewer, you know, even if you disagree with them, at the very least you can appreciate their opinion. To me, that's why I love reviews and why I adore making them. Series that I enjoy, I can't wait to break down why they made me feel a certain way and why I think areas in the visual directing and writing were solid or lackluster. I don't think it's about reviewing everything in existence that makes a reviewer, but really how they express themselves and what they have to say. I do think the casual person who goes and looks at a review does so just to see if they should experience that product or not, or to simply make sure that the masses agree with them, as if not they want to debate. For me, it's always been about learning and seeing things in new ways, and what I hope is that as more and more people do participate in conversations, they will craft their own reviews, be it a short comment or a lengthy paragraph, because those who take the time to construct their opinions in well thought out ways such as that help to promote healthy discussion and make the media that we enjoy or dislike actually mean something that much more. Because even when anime I despise are widely talked about, I can appreciate the fact that there's something positive coming from this because people are discussing it rather than wasting their time hating on people with different views. And honestly, most of the negative reviews out there, they aren't hate, just criticism that I also hope someday will be less frowned upon, as I truly believe opinions of all sorts deserve to be heard, even if I personally don't enjoy making videos strictly to criticize like some. But let me pass the question off to those watching. Why do you personally watch or read reviews? Are you like me who just wants to see a different outlook on a product or to help express your own views? Or do you just want to participate in a conversation where the reviewer matches your own opinions? There's no right answer, but I love to read what people are looking for in reviews. If you want to let me know down in that comment section below. Be sure to leave a like on the video if you did enjoy, and also subscribe to the channel if you happen to be new. There's also my Patreon where you can help support what I do for as little as $1 a month if you so wish. But before we completely wrap up this video, it's time to give a quick shout out to a sponsor of the channel. So once again, it's time to unbox another Loot Crate. Thank you so much to Loot Crate for sending me this month's Loot Gaming box. If you want to get your own Loot Crate and support the channel while also saving yourself a bit of money, use my promo code, which is lootcrate.com/AHBrandon, with my promo code AHBrandon at checkout to save yourself 10% off your first order. This month is another Loot Gaming Crate because of when I first set up this sponsorship. It was a little wonky on the back end, but going forward it will be Loot Anime. But based on what we got in this month's Loot Gaming Crate, I'm not complaining that we're still on Loot Gaming, because this is easily the best Loot Crate that I've ever received, both when they sent me them, also in the years back when I've actually bought them. So as always, we get a t-shirt in a Loot Crate. This month we get a Borderlands Claptrap t-shirt, and I have to say this is easily the best t-shirt I've ever received. This is something that I would pay 20 or 30 bucks on t-shirt sites that I normally buy my graphic tees for. Claptrap says, Well done, minion. This design is absolutely incredible. We got a speed up Rage 2 tin sign. I actually have a few anime tin signs from different anime that I like, so having this Rage 2, which I was a pretty big fan of Rage 1, I haven't really seen much about Rage 2 yet, but I've liked the first one, so this is a pretty cool sign. I like it. Loot Gaming Apocalypse collectible pin. They always seem to be giving these pins out, which I'm not really a pin collector, but if I get them, I'm not going to throw them away. I put them on my shelf and kind of keep them around. So it's a Loot Apocalypse pin. This is probably what I'm most excited for. It's Fallout Nuka-Cola Red Power Armor. I'm not exactly sure what all this is, but has a pretty cool little guy there. I'm going to assume it's probably just the body of this, so let's open this up. Oh, okay. I was totally just expecting that it was going to be like a piece, like maybe just the body, and then like it was like if you subscribed for like 5 months or something, you got each piece to build it, because I know that's how the Fallout crates do it. But no, this is actually a full-on power armor. This is absolutely ridiculous. It even has a stand. I don't need more figures, but holy hell, I'm so excited for this. I know Fallout 76 sucks, but every other Fallout game I've enjoyed. I love collecting figures. I don't really have many game figures, but this thing is absolutely incredible. The fact that I only have to resubscribe to gaming to get the full thing, oh, this is awesome. They also sent a coffee mug, which is from Naughty Dog. It's not really like overly flashy or anything, it just has the Last of Us logo on it, but slick black coffee mug, has a nice little design on the inside. I mean, I'm not complaining with this. I like Last of Us. It's not like the flashiest of mugs out there, but I'm not complaining about getting a coffee mug with The Last of Us on it. And I think lastly is the poster, which I haven't checked out yet, but it looks like it's Fallout. I talk shit about Fallout 76 and then I get a Fallout 76 poster. Which honestly, like, the poster's fine. Like, even though it has the Fallout 76 logo on it, I know the game's pretty trash, but the poster's actually Fallout, so it's not bad whatsoever. Like, any Fallout fan's not going to complain about that. So on the back, it says we get the Last of Us mug, the exclusive Fallout 4 Nuka-Cola Power Armor figure, the Gaming Apocalypse pin, the Borderlands Claptrap t-shirt, and the exclusive Rage 2 tin art. And like I said in last month's, there's usually something in the box that you normally wouldn't buy, but you're glad to have. For me in this month, it's definitely that coffee mug, and the Power Armor figure is the greatest thing ever with that t-shirt. This was a great month. Easily my favorite loot crate that I've received, including the ones that I bought in the past. So if you do want to get your own, be it the anime, the gaming, whatever you want to do, use my promo code, link in the description, along with my coupon code. Save yourself some money. Also support the channel. Thank you so much once again to Loot Crate for sending me this month's loot crate. I'm really excited to see where the anime crates are going to go going forward, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be set up to anime going forward next month. But until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.